Good evening, everyone. Joe Palaio back with you and hosting the 5 news stories that will be of interest to you. And if you're looking for a new opportunity in 2026, a lot of people make that New Year's resolution. Go over to josephmichaels.com, and there you can peruse 1,200 plus high quality jobs from 75,000 to executive roles paying millions. And you can search by career, title, keyword, or location and apply. And your next career move could be waiting there for you. But now let's get to the biggest stories of the day. I'm back from vacation. We did Orient cruise, my wife and I, and excited to share with you some interesting news stories today. Number one story, I was gonna try and share a video with you if I can here. Let's see if we can get this to work. I think you'll get a laugh out of this, if nothing else. And see if we can make this work for you. Give me a moment. All right, here we go. See if you can see this and hear it.
This year, those extended Obamacare subsidies expire. What's your message to those 24 million Americans who will see their insurance premiums go up?
Well, it's not so bad because, obviously you're a sycophant for Democrats. You're obviously a provider of bad news for Republicans. Let me just say something. The Republicans, I think I can speak for Tom and most of the people. I think what most Republicans want to see is what I want to see. And I leave it to them, and hopefully they're going to put great legislation on this desk right here. We want to see all of the money that's been squandered and given to insurance companies, because Obamacare is horrible health insurance. It's far too expensive, and it always has been. But what it really is a way of
Okay. Hopefully you could see that. I'm learning as I go here. But a little episode by the diaper Baby Trump. Baby Trump diaper diplomacy, and talking about healthcare. They do kind of a funny Trump is a baby at the press conference. Anyway, I think you might enjoy that, and wanted to share that with you. But that will lead us into the first story today, which is healthcare. Healthcare subsidies. Story one: healthcare subsidies expire, triggering massive premium hikes. What is it with the healthcare in America? It's somehow the costs have risen, according to Trump, 1,700%. You look at something like an MRI, for example, that's anywhere from several hundred to $7,000 in America today, and it's only a couple $100 in a lot of countries like Japan, $60 to $80 in some countries. So I have a proposal, and we'll put this in the category of good ideas to be improved upon. As Scott Adams says, it's not the ultimate idea, but an idea that I'd like to float, and hopefully folks smarter than me can come up with a better idea. But healthcare is, the premiums are skyrocketing, on average up 114%, according to health policy experts. Some families seeing monthly costs triple, and forcing tough choices like dropping coverage. Congress failed to extend the tax credits before recess, despite bipartisan talks and a float from President Donald Trump. we have a healthcare system that's broken. But so let me just put this as something that we'll put on the table for discussion purposes. What if, and this is only a what if, hospitals, and I hate to even say this because as a recruiter, we work with a lot of hospitals and healthcare companies, emergency room physician groups and whatnot. But what if we required hospitals to post a price for every service that they offer? They have a menu of services, right? And they have to put a price. And it could be a broad price range to start out. So for example, you have a heart surgery, that's going to be between $15,000 and $2 million or whatever, and it could be a crazy range, depending on complications. If you have a broken arm, then your bill is going to be somewhere between $800 and $10,000 or whatever the numbers are. But at least we get them in the habit of posting their prices. And if you had just any range acceptable initially, I think that would allow them to self-govern down the line, because eventually somebody would say, well, this company says the heart procedure could cost up to $5 million, whereas this hospital has capped it at $800,000 or whatever the number is. But eventually they would have to bring those costs into line with other competitive pricing. And if you think about it, there's really no other industry other than healthcare where there is no pricing. You just sign here for your treatment, and we'll tell you how much the bill is when we're done. There's nothing like that. And even for your car, if you go in, you say, well, we think you need a new muffler, so it's going to be between this range and this range, but it could be something else. And if we find other things, then it's going to vary. But here's a very broad range that we're going to give you as an estimate. You would always get an estimate. There's no such thing as a service or a product that you would get and then you'd get a bill completely out of the blue, a number undiscussed and undisclosed until you get the bill. But for the most part, people don't care because their insurance pays for it. But we should care, and why not put pricing on it? Anyway, I'll just throw that out there as an idea for story one today. Trump took the House is expected to vote on these reimbursements, but in the meantime, higher medical bills for everyone is an ongoing problem. And there's really nothing like it where you don't see a price for any services. Strange. All right, so my idea is out there, and it's not perfect, but maybe it'll get dialogue started, which would be a good thing. Story number two today: young journalist Nick Shirley breaks a massive Minnesota fraud scandal, explosive investigation exposed by the 23-year-old independent journalist Nick Shirley. He's gone viral, alleging billions of fraud across Minnesota taxpayer-funded programs, specifically child care centers, where facilities appear empty and yet receive massive payouts of your hard-earned tax dollars. Shirley's on-the-ground video posted around Christmas and documents daycare sites, or before Christmas, daycare sites that have collected millions of dollars, and probes estimating an alleged up to $9 billion in total fraud in the Minnesota state, where it's $42,000 per family of your tax dollars go there, and Minnesota state tax dollars as well. But some of your federal tax dollars go there through different programs. Anyway, the video racked up over 100 million views on X, amplified by public figures Elon Musk and Vice President J.D. Vance, prompting federal funding freezes, FBI surges, and new investigations. Shirley appeared on the very popular All In podcast with Chamath, I won't try his last name, Jason Calacanis, David Sachs, and David Freeberg to discuss in depth his findings. Nick Shirley, a rising voice in new media, says he's just exposing the truth. But this could be one of the biggest scandals in years. Story 3 today, SpaceX gears up for a blockbuster 2026 IPO. Big news from the stars. Elon Musk, SpaceX reportedly preparing for a massive IPO, raising tens of billions or more, valuing the company at up to 1.5 trillion and rivaling the largest IPO ever. Driven by Starlink's explosive growth and advancements in reusable rockets. Insiders say discussions with banks are underway for a mid-year launch. On the shows like Brighter with Herbert Ong, analysts are buzzing about how this could supercharge the space economy with funds-eyed and ambitious projects like space-based data centers. Investors are watching closely. This could be a big one. Story 4, President Trump backs Iranian protesters amid escalating tensions that are on the rise in the Middle East, as President Trump directly warned Iran if authorities violently suppress ongoing protests, the U.S. will come to their rescue. The comments came as demonstrations over economic woes and currency collapses have turned deadly. Reports of clashes and 7 fatalities as of now. Iranian officials fired back, calling it reckless interference and threatening the U.S. interest in the region. These are the longest protests since 2022, fueled by post-war hardships. Trump's strong stance makes a bold shift. Continue to monitor if actions in this story. Story 5 today, Google's Android XR smart glasses demo may signal trouble for Meta, and Apple tech journalists are raving about the hands-on demo of the Google prototype, the Android XR smart glasses, declaring that Meta and Apple may have real competition on their hands. Now, these glasses are powered by Gemini AI. I don't have a pair to show you, but the glasses turn real live translations. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is you'd have your glasses you'd speak English. And on my recent trip, I'm in Cambodia. Let's say I'm talking to a Cambodian, they're speaking Cambodian, and I'm hearing it in English. We're just that close to that. Can you believe that? Now, that's just one thing. There's also Google turn-by-turn maps, directions overlaid in your view. And so it's small, very small, but it's so close to your eye that it looks like, a big screen TV almost, or at least a laptop screen, viewable. Google Maps, directions overlaid, music controls, proactive photo enhancement. So instead of taking a picture and then editing, you could say, make it brighter, and it would hear you and do it. Seamless integration with thousands of Android apps right at the launch. Standout features include 2D, 3D video conversion, lag-free PC connectivity for gaming or work, and realistic avatars for calls. Partnerships with Samsung, Warby Parker, Gentle Monster, whoever that is, and X-Reels Project Aura, promise stylish frames and powerful hardware, hitting stores in 2026 with both display and then audio-only versions. By the way, if you don't have a pair of sunglasses like this that's Bluetooth that you can listen to podcasts or your music on, and kind of like your car, when a call comes in, you can just, it automatically, the call comes through, pauses, you talk to your client, and then when you're done, hangs up automatically and you're back to your podcast, just like in your car. This is one of the best investments I ever made. I'm walking more than I ever had in my life. Highly recommend some working sunglasses. This could leapfrog Meta Ray-Ban glasses, but Meta is pouring a lot of money into their glasses, and so good game of leapfrog would be good on the glasses. Those have been promised for a long time. I think those are about to really be interesting. So Apple's rumored to have a delayed entry, but playing catch up, and future wearable just got a lot brighter. Watch your top 5 news plus a quick tip for your career. And thanks for joining me, Joe Palaio. Stay informed, stay warm. And here's an encouraging word to carry you through. From Larry King, I remind myself every morning, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening. Larry King. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good night, America. We'll see you here on Monday for 5 more stories.